All right. Today's topic is the area and the volume of the similar shapes. So, since the title area and volume of the similar shapes, there will be shapes which are similar to each other. So we've got a relationship between the areas and volumes of these shapes, these two shapes. Area 1 over area 2, the area of the first shape over area of the second shape will be L1 over L2 square. The corresponding length, the ratio of the corresponding length square. These lengths can be length, width, height, any corresponding two sides. So the ratio between the volumes, volume 1 over volume 2, is equal to L1 over L2 cube. It's equal to ratio between the corresponding sides cube, the ratio between the volumes. So let's have a look at the questions and apply these formulas into the questions. There are two similar cups. The first cup is a volume of 200 cubic centimeter and the second cup 1600. So the ratio between them is 200 divided by 1600, volume 1 over volume 2. If the height of the second cup is 12 centimeter, which I will write here in the denominator because we write the volume of the second cup in the denominator, so the corresponding height will be 12 in the denominator, and we don't know the height of the first cup, that will be cube. So how do I get rid of the cube? So I take cube root of both sides, so that's going to be h over 12 is equal to, let's find out 200 divided by 1600 and take the cube root of that, and the result will be 0.5. So then cross multiply, h will be equal to 6, and the unit is 6 centimeters. So it's very easy. Let's look at the second question. In the second question, it says that the volume of a cube is 64 times another cube. So let's say that there is volume 1 and volume 2. If volume 1 is a cubic centimeter, volume 2 will be 64 times that, 64a. If the side of a smaller cube is 5 centimeters, find the side of a larger cube. So if I write the ratio between the volumes, a over 64a, that will be equal to okay, where do I write, what is the ratio between the sides? 5 centimeter is the side of a smaller cube, so it's the smaller volume is here, then I write 5 here, and we don't know the side of the other larger cube, that's going to be cube here. So I can simplify that, I can simplify the a's, and then what will I do? I will again take a cube root, take cube root here, and what is going to happen? So 1 over 64 is equal to that. What is cube root of that? Is equal to 0.25. So 0.25 will be equal to, we can eliminate 3's, 5 over x. So if you cross multiply, 5 will be equal to 0.25x, and x is equal to times 5. It's going to be 20. So the one side of the larger cube is 20 centimeter. That's the answer of A. This is answer A. All right, let's look at answer B. Let's occupy some space from the other question. If the total surface area of the larger cube is 528, find the total surface area of the smaller cube. Let's remember the ratio between the areas. Area 1 over area 2 is equal to L1 over L2 square. So what is given to me? 528 is the larger cube. Let's say S1 is the smaller cube divided by 528. What are the corresponding sides? Smaller cube is 5 and larger cube is 20. That will be square. So S1 over 528 is equal to That is 1 over 4, which makes 1 over 16. I can simplify them. That makes 1 over 4. Square makes 1 over 16. Cross multiply. 16 S1 is equal to 528. So S1 will be equal to 528 divided by 16, which is equal to 33. What is the unit? cm squared. So that's the answer. Okay, now let's look at the other question here. Let's look at the other question here. The diagram shows two similar cuboids. Find the volume of B if the volume of A is 128. Volume of B, find the volume of B. Volume of A is 128. Now, let's remember ratio between the volumes. Volume A is 128. Is it divided by volume B is equal to, what am I going to write here? The corresponding side, ratio of the corresponding side. Which sides are corresponding? 12 and 6. So 12 is belong to that volume, 12 over 6 cube. So that's going to be 2 over 1. 128, let's continue. 128 over VB is equal to 2 cube is 8. 2 over 1 is 2. 2 cube is 8. Cross multiply. 8 VB is equal to 128. Volume of B is equal to 128 divided by 8 is equal to 16. That will be 16 cubic centimeter. The answer of the first question. What is the answer of the second question? Let's have a look at the answer of the second question here. What are we going to do about the second question? Find the ratio of the total surface area A to B. So, total surface area A to B. So, what is SA over ASB? L1 over L2 squared. What is L1 over L2? 12 over 6 squared. So 12 over 6 squared means we can simplify again 2 over 1. That makes 4 over 1, which is equal to 4. So SA over SB is equal to 4. That's the answer of the question. Let's look some other questions. There are beautiful questions here. All right, let's look at this question now. We've got a cone here, and there is a section of a cone, which is a smaller cone. If shaded part of the cone has a volume of 6.25 cubic centimeter, find the volume of the whole cone. Now, we've got a small cone here, we've got a big cone here. So there are two similar shapes. What is the relation between the volumes? Volume 1 over volume 2 is equal to L1 over L2 cube. So what is the volume of the smaller cone? Shaded part is 6.25. So volume of the smaller cone is 6.25. Divided by, what is V2 stand for? What does V2 stand for? V2 is the volume of the big cone. So what is the length of the smaller, slant height of the smaller cone is 2. What are the corresponding sides here? Corresponding sides are slant heights. So it's going to be 2 over, what is L2 here? What is the slant height of the whole cone? 6. It's going to be cube. I can simplify 1, 3. So 6.25 over V2 is equal to 1 over 3 cube is 27. Cross multiply, V2 will be equal to 6.25 times 27. That makes 168.75 cm cube. That's the answer of the first question. What about the second question? All right. The ratio of the volume of the shaded part to the unshaded part. The ratio of the volume of the shaded part, which we know it's 6.25, to the unshaded part. And what is the volume of the unshaded part? We know the volume of the whole cone, which is 168.75. If I take away 6.25 from the whole cone, if I remove the smaller cone, what will be left? The unshaded volume, which is equal to here minus 6.25, 162.5 cubic centimeters. This is the volume of the unshaded part. The question is find the ratio of the volume of the shaded part to unshaded part. So this will be shaded part is 6.25, unshaded part is 162.5. We know how to convert this into the, we learn it with the calculator, how to convert it into a perfect number. So when we do that, the result will be 1 over 26. That's the final answer. Okay, now the final question. Final question is here. This is question number 5. We've got two pyramids here. These two pyramids are similar pyramids. The ratio of the shaded areas, which is the base area, is 25 to 16. So which one is 25? This is the bigger pyramid 25, smaller pyramid 16. Find the ratio of the corresponding edges. Oh, okay. So what is the ratio between the areas? Let's remember. We usually use for area is A for area, not S. Area 1 over area 2 will be L1 over L2 square. What is given? 25 over 16. A1 over A2 is given 25 over 16. So we are looking for the ratio between two corresponding edges. So what will I do? I will take square root of both sides. So this is going to be 5 over 4 is equal to L1 over L2. That's the answer. What about number B? The ratio of their volumes. So V1 over V2 is equal to L1 over L2 cube. So do I know L1 over L2? Yes, we find it in the first question, 5 over 4. 5 over 4 cube is equal to 5 cube is 125, 4 cube is 64. So that's the answer. The ratio between the volumes are 125 over 64.